again.
Man, if that was in real life, that would be a blessing.
Yeah.
I was sitting there looking at the video. I'm like, wow, Cameron's room looks so clean. Oh wait, it's not her room. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Well, it's the only place that has like a mirror, so
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'll do it in here so I can put on makeup.
All
And
right. So,
he was
joining us
joking that he was
now.
gonna watch me. He was like, "Can I watch you live, not on stream? Can I just come stare at you while you record in your room?" And I was like, "No, please don't."
That's not at all creepy. Yeah. So, joining us now is Camber Kirchmeyer. What's your Twitter? I'm sorry, your social media presence. It's at kairiceleste, but like the spelling is
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I guess I can. I have access to like the Twitch stream and whatnot, don't I?
Here.
Like the commenting.
Yeah, and if you can spell it for me, I'll put it on there.
So it's Kairi Celeste, which is KAIRICELESTE, which I typed it into the thing.
All right, and
Oh,
I
and Cross is also going to point out that I also go by Mercy Flesh on other things,
right.
which is
So
true.
right. So there you go. I got your social media response there. So yeah, you have been doing CosFreePlay for the community group for a while now. Do you know how long it's been? Because I don't.
I don't know
Oh,
how long it's been,
I would guess
but
over a year.
I feel like it's been probably that long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I could have looked it up on the
It's not necessary. Like
find
a
out. But
significant amount of time in which, if you don't know what Cause Free Play is, I would ask you, what have you been doing when you're on the Free Play Arcade community group? If you haven't seen it, Camber picks a theme every week. Usually, it revolves around an event or something that's happening at Free Play, or maybe something, some new release, and highlights a bunch of cosplays, kind of Instagram. Well, why don't you take it from there? How do you go about doing your free cause free play posts? Because you get a motivation and then you go from there.
yeah, so usually, because I'm a really bad procrastinator, I tend to not like plan my posts until the morning that I need to do them. So on Thursday mornings. So I usually get on to the Free Play community group, Facebook group, and kind of scroll through and see what events are coming up that week or what events have just happened. Like if we just had Pinball Monday that week or something. And I'll kind of look up and use that as an idea for what I want to do. Or if there's like nothing that I want to do based on that, I'll kind of since I follow so many other cosplayers out in the universe, if one of them has posted something recently that inspires me, I'll go like that direction or featuring other cosplayers I know. Kind of just whatever spurs me on at like 10 o'clock Thursday morning when I need to have the post done at 12.
Fair enough. A special shout out to your, I don't know what the word would be, your predecessor who created. It was my idea to have a free play cosplay post because I feel like that's very much part of arcade game and video game culture. But Lisa Marie Batts was the original Cause Free Play writer, and she kind of created the format, and you really took it and ran with it. And so thank you to her, and also thank you to you for continuing to keep the tradition alive.
Yeah, it seems like a kind of thing that I have the ability to do since I do the cosplay. So,
Yeah, yeah, and no, you've taken to it, and I'm glad that like it's worked how I would want it to work, which is like you take ownership of it and you put your own spin on it, and now like we get to get a little bit of a glimpse into your personality and how you go about it every week, which is
yeah.
you procrastinate and it's last minute. No, just kidding.
Yeah, and then I'm usually really sarcastic in my post about something. Yeah, that's usually about how it goes. Or I'm complaining about how bad I did at pinball, so I feature pinballs that I hate. Yeah, it's kind of the whole thing.
That's much overstated. You're actually pretty darn good at pinball, although you're not quite as good as Shannon, who's been joining us all day. I will give you that. I am a realist when it comes to this stuff, but I will be a realist and say Shannon's better at pinball. But I will also be a realist and say you aren't that bad. You aren't as bad as you let on. Um,
It's been a struggle.
yeah. How have you been since kind of everything hit the fan with all this? Because you had to take you traveled basically like the moment it hit. So yeah,
Yeah, so um, I had already planned prior to all of this to take a trip up to Washington State because my best friend of all time is a traveling nurse, and that's where she happened to be stationed. And so I was like, oh, I'd love to come up there and visit. So I was Googling, and there was a con happening while she was up there. It was Emerald City Comic Con in March. And so I was like, bro, I'm going to come up there. We'll go to this con. It'll be super great. And so we had already planned this, like a month before all this chaos happened. And then, it all started compounding, and the con got canceled. And we were kind of afraid they were going to cancel flights into Washington because that was kind of the hub of a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were kind of like waiting until, the date came. But we got to fly up there. They didn't stop us. We actually took a ferry into Canada like the day before they shut the borders. So luckily we made it back from Canada, and we didn't get trapped in another country. That would have been exciting.
That must have been crazy.
Yeah.
Was it scary?
Mom was so scared. She was like constantly
I'm here
texting
at
us
Carlitos
like, hey,
Arcade.
the ferry's still open. Are you gonna make it back? Is it gonna be okay? And I was like, no, everything seems chill. Like I was not worried. I mean, whatever happened was gonna happen. So if that was bad, then I guess it, whatever. It was kind of just everything's in God's hands. It's whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, but you're not the worrying type generally.
No, no, definitely not. I'm very content with whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and we'll just ride through it. But I mean, it's definitely been a kind of a mess because so all the cons getting canceled. That's kind of a low priority thing. It's just sad. But then on top of that, we put on dirt bike races all over Texas, and those are now canceled until further notice because that's obviously a lot of people meeting up.
Who made that call?
Well, our next race, which was actually supposed to be this weekend, was in the town of Bridgeport, which we were actually going to be racing like in the town, like on the streets. And also the property we were racing on is like owned by the city. And so the city like had a meeting with us and was like, hey, we probably can't do this because it's going to be, that was kind of all around the time they were like, oh, no more than 200 people or no more than what
50.
It was.
The CDC guidelines, because I was intimately involved with it with free play and having to run events myself. The CDC said initially no gatherings of 50 or more people, which I felt like it would be almost impossible to get 50 people together, given all the all of people's feelings towards it anyway. But it quickly got up to 10 by the White House, and then from there it was where we are now, which is I keep forgetting it, where we're shelter at home.
Shelter in place or whatever.
Yes. Are you where you're at now? Are you in shelter in place? Is that are you under the okay? So how's
our county just went shelter in place yesterday, I think. So now we're officially closed down, quarantined, whatnot.
Yeah. Are you has that impacted your work at all? Are you still working?
Well, I work from home because I kind of run my own business doing 3D modeling and 3D printing. So I can still do that from the comfort of my own home. And luckily, my brother who runs an automotive shop, that's considered an essential business.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not going to continue to work, which is nice because having the racing shut down kind of meant lack of income completely for our family. So luckily, him still being able to work means we're not going to go broke, at least.
Yeah.
Mostly.
So you don't have you don't have pocket aces quite like Gory did, but you at least have
not quite as fancy as her. But at least because that was on the edge for a while there. It was kind of oh, I kind of hope he's still allowed to work and whatnot, and then it worked out. So
yeah, but it seems okay.
It's nothing too tremendous. I mean, being stuck at home just means my dad has more time to build the slide in our house and work on race cars.
All right.
Race them, but
anybody who hasn't been over to your house might have just done a double take. I have been over to your house. Can you please go back to where you said someone was building a slide in your house, and how does that work?
So I don't know, a year ago, maybe more than that, my dad custom built a spiral staircase out of metal and wood and all sorts of stuff. And the original plan was we were going to put in the spiral staircase, and then we were going to put in a spiral slide around the staircase. Because obviously that's a requirement in a house that has a ton of people and children. And so, but then it kind of went on the wayside for a while. But finally, we now have the pipe at the house, and Dad's been working on getting. So we're gonna have like a straight slide down one side of the stairs where you can slide directly into the kitchen and possibly right into the refrigerator. So it'll be really nice.
Yeah. So she's straight up like. You live in our dream house from when we were like 8 or 9 years old, and then how old are Cross's daughters?
Rad is 5 and Sky is 2.
Okay,
3.
so like Rad is living her best life right now. I promise
Yes.
you, and has her entire like Dad races motorcycles and unfortunately tends to bang up his knee while he's doing it. Aunt Camber dresses up as like fairies and video game characters and all kinds of mystical craziness. Um, they can go to live races and including the whole rad thing. Man, I'm so sorry I did not go out to the hell track because that was awesome. Can you tell me about the hell track real quick, because that's crazy. We're 80s obsessed here. Does anybody remember the movie Rad? If you don't, I don't blame you, but do you remember the movie Rad? Because she's going to go with that. So go.
Yeah, so it's a movie, let's be honest, it's like B level, but amazing.
Yes.
It's about bicycle racing.
It's absolutely B level, but yes,
it's
BMX
about
racing.
A high school kid who wants to race. There's like a circuit coming to their town. It's called Hell Track. You can win money from it, whatever. And of course, the kid wants to do it, and his mom's like, "No, you have to take the SAT or whatever." And so he leaves and goes and races it. And there's a whole lot of there's like politics going on, and there's a girl, of course, played by Lori Loughlin. It's like her career before she was popular. She's the only popular actress currently that was in that movie.
Yes, she's famous for buying people into schools.
Yes, but it's definitely if you like racing, bicycles, bad 80s movies, I highly recommend it. It's a really great movie. There's some classic moments in it.
I will second that recommendation. I will tell you there is another famous actress in it, Talia Shire, who plays Adrian in the Rocky movies, and she was also in the Godfather movies. That's the mom in Rad.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize that.
I won't say it's a star turn by Talia Shire, but she is a notable actress from the 70s and 80s, and she's in the movie, and it's delicious fun, particularly some of the BMX scenes. My favorite scene in that movie, I mean, there's 2 scenes to note. There's one at the beginning where I think it's Crew. Is it Crew?
He's the main guy.
Crew is in a cat and mouse game with the local police officer, which the town that they live in, because it's a bad 80s movie, has a variable size. So it's a small town with basically one cop on a motorcycle, and he chases him all throughout town. But when you watch him go through the town, it's clearly huge. There's big houses everywhere. There's massive industrial areas. He goes through a lumber yard. He's like doing crazy BMX stunts off of the top of trees.
Yeah, there's all this like big lumber, and there's like it's like very what you would expect from like an 80s movie.
Yeah, it's a crazy big town, but it's also a small town with one cop, and that one cop is chasing him through it. But these 2 clearly have a relationship, so it's a fun cat and mouse. It's like the Tom and Jerry version of Smokey and the Bandit, except the Bandit has on a BMX bike and is doing backflips everywhere. It's really funny. It's cute as well, and then the other one, of course, is the dance scene.
Simi and Angel, man.
Yes, Simi and Angel, real life song is in there. It's Lori Loughlin's character and Chad as well. Crew as well. And you guys recreated that scene, correct?
They did do some bicycle tricks in Blainstone, where we hosted the dance and did all that kind of stuff. Not as epic as I would have liked, I feel like, for the dance scene, but I mean, I was there cosplaying as Lori Loughlin's character.
Yes.
Christian Hollings.
Yes.
But basically the place I worked at, Texplex Park out in Midlothian, Texas, we like recreated the entire Hell Track, like physical track, and invited out the actors from the movie, including the Bill Allen who plays Crew Jones, and then like all the stunt guys who did all the bicycle tricks, and all those kind of people. And we actually did a whole race on Hell Track, and we got to like the cars from the movie. There's like a local guy who, or I say local, he's from California, who has like the same cars and has styled them to be like from the movie. He came out and I got to like take pictures with that and meet everyone. And it was like super, like not something I ever expected to have done in my life, but it was amazing.
Yeah, no, I wish I was a part of it. I can't remember what I did that weekend. I know I thought about it. I feel like I could have and should have gone. And I know you guys won't do it again because it was expensive, and it's like our spring series arcade game event, the $5,000 Golden Age arcade spring series we did last year to a tune of like 17 people. It won't happen again, but it did happen, and it warms my heart that it did happen, and you were a part of it. It sounds awesome. I'm glad I live in a world where that at least happened.
Yeah, it was definitely because like going into it, when I heard we were gonna do the event, I was like, I want to make Crew Jones's outfit. He has a very iconic like red two-piece with like blue and white stars and like track pants. I'd like come up with a pattern and figured out what I was gonna do. And as time got closer, and we were like rewatching the movie, there's like one scene that you see Lori Loughlin as Christian Hollings, and she's in this like white and yellow mongoose bodysuit, and you literally only see her from like the waist up for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I was like, I want to make that outfit.
Yeah,
because
so
like,
she's a pro in that movie, right? She's a pro BMXer. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like one of the mongoose girls. And so yeah, I was like, well, I got to make that outfit now. And of course, when I showed up to the event wearing it, I did not expect the amount of, because I mean, it's a movie from the 80s, so I was probably one of the younger fans there. And so to walk into the room and all these adult men were like, Lori Loughlin, oh my god, Christian Hollings, they were all like freaking out, wanting to take pictures with me, and I was posing with the Corvette and all the other cars, and just like meeting people. It was like a very surreal cosplay experience. It's like almost on the level of when you like dress up and go to charity events for kids.
It's Bill Jones. Is that the actor who played Crew? Is that right?
Bill Allen.
Bill Allen. Sorry. Did you meet him, and how did he react to your cosplay? Because it might. I'm guessing it was dramatic. Whatever he acted, it might have been inappropriate, but who knows?
No, yeah. When I did get to meet him, and he was super nice. He was like, "Oh my gosh, you look amazing. This is so great." And there's like one photo. It was like a, not a photo from the movie, but I guess one that they took just on set. And it's like Crew, and he's got his arms around Christian Hollings, and they're like posing, but it's her in that outfit.
Right.
So I was like, can we recreate this picture, or is that weird? Because he's like an adult guy. And he was like, no, it's fine. Like, let's do it. And to be like,
right. No, if you ask, then it's not weird. If he asks, then it's instantly weird.
Yeah, exactly. So it was one of those like, yeah, I would love to, like, I want to like remember this and know that I met the actor from this movie, even if it's like not that popular of a movie. It doesn't matter. Like, it felt good being a fan of something like this movie. I watched my entire upbringing on VHS tape.
Yes, and same. I'm hundreds of years older than you, but I had the same experience growing up, watching it on VHS, and listening to "Send Me an Angel," one of my favorite songs from the 80s. Partially because it's in that movie, partially because it's in The Wizard, another movie that I adore way too much. One more question I had for you regarding, and by the way, if you guys have any questions for Camber, I will relay them along. I'm watching the chat. But one more question I had in regards to Hell Track and your rad, you had the most surreal, like, complete cosplay experience ever as you cosplayed and then someone built the set for you.
Pretty much.
You guys did the race. Now, both as Hell Track, the Hell Track race, and does your family's racing ever involve BMX, or is it purely motorsports?
Me and Cross actually did race BMX when we were kids. Like when I was like elementary school aged, we have a track not far from our house, and we like every weekend and race. So yeah.
I think. Oh well, we're gonna deal with the dings. Dings may be from Discord on your end.
It's probably mine. I think I'm getting Facebook messages. I'll just get out of Facebook on my computer.
Yeah, I think that's a Discord ding that's so annoying. But anyway, whatever it is. So you, my question about in regards to Hell Track and BMX racing is, so the part where you go back and forth and it's very rugged and swift curves, that's called a chicane, right? Chicanery, something like that.
Like when you do like these
Yes.
things,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
can be called a chicane, yeah, like
Chicane.
a harsh.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
is it legal to backflip over the entire chicane space? Like what's your ruling? You referee these races. If somebody backflips over the entire chicane section, how do you rule that?
So yeah, it's actually really ironic. So for one, someone actually did do that during the Hell Track race we had.
Uh-huh.
But that wasn't the craziest part. The craziest part was that so the way the track went, you
Hmm.
had like the big wall at the beginning, and then all the other stuff, and then you kind of come up like a wooden feature to come back around to drop back down.
Right.
And one guy actually up on the wooden feature like jumped off of it onto the downhill of the wall. He like skipped an entire corner of the track, like in a way that I like had a panic attack because he did it right in front of me while I was videoing, and I was like, how is he still alive?
Yeah.
But he actually ended up winning the race because he technically cut the track to do that. But everyone was so impressed, let it happen. And so the guy who got second was like one of my friends, and he was super mad because he was like, "What the heck? What? He cheated. Why does he get to win?" It's like that's how it happened in the movie, man. People
Right.
cheat.
Yeah, yeah,
They get to
yeah.
win. That's
Apex
not the
jumps
whole point.
everywhere.
Like he cheats in the actual Hell Track race, and he actually cheats in the like qualifying.
Right.
So
How do you treat? Does he knock someone out? How does he cheat in the qualifying? I can't remember.
he falls at one point.
Hmm.
He falls like twice in the same race and still ends up winning the qualifier. So there's literally no way he did that without cheating. And there's another part where like everyone's going on one part of the track and he's like way over here
Hmm.
going down some rocks, and I'm like, what are you doing, sir? You're passing people not on the track. So yeah, he definitely is just like a cheater the whole time.
Okay, so
Um,
so you answered my question of how it gets handled in the recreation of Hell Track, which means it's any rules are rules because
we're just like, oh, whatever.
right, that's exactly how it is in the movie. The rules are flexible to whomever crosses the finish line first and doesn't shoot anybody on the way. How does it work in an actual race? Because you are an official in actual races too.
Oh yeah, in actual races, depending on how bad you cut the track, you would get docked time from your overall time, which would probably move you down in places. And then if you cheated enough, you would just get disqualified from the whole race. But usually, you just get like docked time. Like if you saved like 5 seconds by cutting the track, we'll dock you like 30 seconds
Gotcha.
as a penalty. So
Yeah,
you
and
and we'll
what?
tell them that. We'll let them know like, hey, you were caught cheating. You did get docked, so
Right.
that they know that like they can't get away with it in the future.
And would you have DQ'd crew or would you have just given them a 30-second penalty?
On a track that small, that's the problem. Like we race on a track that's like 4 miles long.
Uh-huh.
So cutting a small amount, like while it does help, it's not super game breaking. On a track that's only 30 seconds long,
Hmm.
you cut 5 seconds off, that's like almost the whole track. Like you probably just get DQ'd for that. In
Okay.
actual bicycle racing, you could just get DQ'd probably for cutting any part of the track because it's a very obvious track. It just
Yeah.
goes like that.
Right. It's as if it was made for a movie.
Yes.
Okay, so let me hit the chat questions real quick so I can get here. Do you know the Akuma code? I know the answer to this. Do you know the Akuma code?
I do not.
Yes.
Did
When
you
is
see
Scarlet being cosplayed? Okay, we have a question about TNA. When are you doing
I
Scarlet?
know. I know. So I've been like hunting for a thrifted, like, red leather jacket for her,
Hmm.
like since the time that I saw Total Nuclear the first time, and I've yet to find one. So I'm kind of just reaching the point where I might have to make one, and I don't really want to make one
Yeah, it's a
because
lot
that
of leather.
leather's expensive.
Yeah.
But the other problem is her leather jacket is the same color as her leather boot, and I'm like, well, shoot, if I find a jacket, how am I going to get the boots to match? So maybe I do need to make both of them. I don't know. It's a struggle.
Yeah. You could always ask Sarah Rose since she's approximately your size. You know her, and she has the cosplay as she is Scarlet from Total Nuclear Annihilation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on the list, man.
Yeah.
Along with everything else in the universe, it's all on the list.
Did you enjoy meeting Sarah Rose?
I did. She was very kind.
Yeah.
She was very cool.
Yeah, that was my sort of number one desire from that weekend when I knew that Sarah Rose Danesi, who is the inspiration for Scarlet and the Backglass, was at Texas Pinball Festival, which should have been this weekend, but unfortunately we don't have it. to get it to where you two met, and you did. Oh no, you did, or did you meet? Did you meet?
I think, did we meet? I
I,
thought we
I
met.
don't know, because she definitely did a
didn't
shout out, right? I filmed a shout out. Maybe that was it. Maybe I just filmed a shout out.
that.
Yeah, because I knew it was important for me to make sure you guys had some sort of contact, and I know I put you two together in some fashion.
Yeah, and I know we follow each other on social media because I see stuff from her. So
Yeah. Siembu, aka Arthur, wants to know what your favorite cosplay is.
that I've made or
Let's
that I
let's
want to do.
let's go both sides of that question.
Favorite cosplay that I've made. I feel like that's a because I really enjoy.
There's no wrong answer, by the way. So
Yeah, I enjoy the ones that I get to do with my friends. So I have like a close knit cosplay friend group.
oh, I thought you were just talking about Poison and Hugo. All right, fine.
and so when we get to like get together and do cons together, like whatever costume I'm wearing for those is like twice as fun because I feel like we're all a big group and we get to do stuff. And most of the time, that's doing a Critical Role cosplays, which is a very popular D&D web show, which is what the character I'm in half of today right now that I'm going to be putting on the rest of at some point, possibly during this conversation. But like, so characters from that I really enjoy. Characters like Eraserhead that I've worn to free play from My Hero Academia. That's a great one. I see my brother is pointing out Witch Mercy from Overwatch. Probably the craziest costume I've ever made.
Yeah, that's the one that
I've ever worn.
Yeah, that's the one that won you some money out at Free Play Arlington, and and had you super ill that night. I remember you looked miserable.
Yeah,
Like,
I was dying while I was wearing it.
yeah, you looked like Witch Mercy looked great and won money. And it was funny because like Corey was not familiar with your character, so and so he was calling you like Angel Girl or something like that.
Wing girl or something. If I hear wings, and I was like, I mean, I do have wings on, so I guess it's something.
Right, but meanwhile, the crowd understood exactly who you were and was chanting for you,
Yeah.
and then you, like, just knowing you, you looked like you were about to die. So you were
I was going to die. I was like, I'm ready for this to be over with, so I can go home.
yeah.
But it was something. But yeah, that's definitely. I feel like there's like such a wide range of like some costumes are so comfortable. I just enjoy throwing them on and wearing them. And then some are so like convoluted when you put them on. It's like I love how this looks, but I also hate how I feel when I'm wearing it. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
catch-22.
Yeah, for sure. Did you want to answer the other side of that question too? You took it both ways.
Yeah, I guess like dream cosplays that I want to make. One of them I am planning on making this year, which is the live action Alice in Wonderland from the newer live action movie. It's the one where she's like she becomes super big, so they have to make her a dress really fast out of the curtains. So it's like a red and black and white striped chiffon nonsense. The dress that I've wanted to make since I ever saw the movie before I even knew what cosplay was. But I was like, that's going to be really expensive. But then I found all the material on sale at the Fabric District in Dallas. So I'm making it this year. I have all the materials. I'm going to do it. So that's like a dream I want to do. And then another one would probably be Kairi from Kingdom Hearts, which is where my Instagram name comes from.
Right, I was going to ask that.
Yeah, I want to make her Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit, which is her pink dress with like a big giant zipper in it. I wouldn't mind also making the one from the newer game, but like Kingdom Hearts 2 is the requirement, and that's one that I've 100% been putting off because I'm too afraid to make it because I think I'm not a good enough seamstress yet, and I don't want to screw it up.
Man, everybody with their confidence issues who are super, super talented like you and many, many others, I hear that so much, and I think, wow, I can't even come close to that. If anybody in this world could do it, it would be you. So I have the utmost confidence in you, even if you have a pinball level of confidence in yourself.
Yeah, my friends have been forcing me, so I think I'll probably make it next year. My list is very full this year. I don't really want to add it this year because I don't want to try to rush and make it.
Understand.
But I will probably make it next year.
Also, your con schedule is much, much sparser than it was. So.
Oh my gosh, I know we had every cosplay. I had 6 planned when the year started. Right. I was like, I'm gonna make these 6 because I know I'm going to this many cons, and I will wear. We had already planned out. Okay, we're all gonna go as this Disney cosplays at this one. So I'm gonna make Alice, and then and then it all got canceled. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just gonna casually make cosplay from my house, and who knows if I'll ever get to wear it again.
I totally feel you. I had planned to go to TPF this weekend. I was missing out on Big Texas Beer Fest, even though I wanted to go. And I was going to go to Spring Series next week or April 17th through 19th. That's not happening. And then, I was thinking about me and Beltran. We're talking about going to CEO because he's obsessed with wrestling. And why not play Super Turbo while you're in the front row of wrestling? And all these different plans, and they're just all shot. And I assume that they're not coming back this year, or if they are coming back this year, it'll be way later this year. So that is what it is. But Noun Proper had a question for you, a personal question. Is your hair naturally that wavy?
So yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is a bad day for me to be on camera because
You
my
look
hair.
fine. I don't want to hear it. You look fine.
No, my hair is in desperate need of like a refreshing, but I knew I was going to be putting on a wig tonight, so I didn't really want to do my hair and then it get messed up by the wig. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just let it be bad. But it's definitely on a day when it needs extra washing. But yes, this is my natural hair. It's significantly curlier than I ever thought it was until recently. Like every other person with curly hair, I've recently discovered my hair is really curly, and I just never did anything properly with it my whole life. But now I do, and now I have like eons of hair, like so much hair. It just keeps going.
Fair enough. Were you cosplaying just for us, or is there a secondary reason for the cosplay? Because you said you.
Yeah, I was just already planning on putting on this costume tonight because I was like 95% done with it, and I wanted to put it all on and like walk around in it as like a test because I have a lot of random things like strapped to my legs, and I wanted to make sure that they all stayed on if I moved around.
Mm-hmm. I do want to save that for after I get through pestering you with questions, because I don't want you to have to answer while you're in like I don't even know how
Oh,
much.
it's fine. I mean, I was thinking about I need to like paint war paint all over my face, so I thought about just like casually doing that while we chatted. Cool.
Feel free to casually paint your face. I'm sure the stream doesn't mind at all. Um, what was that?
I got Velcro attached to me, so I can attach things to this random outfit I'm wearing.
Oh yeah, fair enough. You're your own mocap artist now with Velcro.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
I wanted to bring up today's post. You're gonna see a whole lot less me. Actually, I don't know. Can you see the broadcast? Can you see me?
I can. I haven't had it. I've had it pushed to the side so I could read chat, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can.
no. All I wanted to do was bring up today's CosFreePlay. There it is. And I wanted you to discuss what it was, what your theme was, and what you were just sort of go on about today's post, if you would.
Yeah. So since I knew I was going to be talking on stream tonight and possibly getting into costume as I attempt to braid my hair very poorly, I kind of was going back and looking through what are all the costumes I've worn to free play, or done specifically for free play. And honestly, far more than I remembered doing. And there were more that I didn't put in here because I couldn't find the pictures I was thinking that we had taken.
Uh-huh.
And so, but so I was just going back through all these different costumes I've done, like Poison with your Hugo was a classic, and then when we had was it Marvel versus Capcom? I guess that I wore Storm, and we had
Yes, that's correct. And Naomi is there with her Rogue. So
mhm.
you're Storm, she's Rogue. You're not. I don't think you're the Storm from Marvel vs.
No,
Capcom, though.
because
You're
she wears all white in that one. But I was
right.
like, well, I only have a black bodysuit, so I guess I'm wearing black.
Yeah, yeah. Your white bodysuit had blue stars on it from Helltrack, so that
Yeah,
wasn't usable.
it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and then like Claw, my female Claw from Street Fighter, which I heard earlier, the man talking from New Jersey who said rude things about Claw players. So you're rude, sir.
He definitely hears you.
No, the
Yeah.
moral
Well,
of the
you're not
story
a
is
you're barely a claw player.
I don't play Street Fighter. And when you said, hey, you should wear cosplay, I Googled what do all the Street Fighter characters look like and which one was the easiest? Claw. So I dressed up as Claw, showed up, and everyone hated on me because everyone hates Claw. And I was like, I didn't know this going into this.
No, you were perfectly appropriate for that because Josh Cooper flew out, the one of the best claw players in the country. And he was flying out, and you were going to be his partner, and you were dressing as Claw. It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, tell us about that costume and how you made it a little bit before we continue. Can you continue forth?
Yeah, so that was the first one I ever wore to free play, I'm pretty sure. And so I actually 3D printed the mask and the claw, because that was like really early on in my 3D printing career as well. I say career, it's been like 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
but that was at the beginning, and so yeah, 3D printed those, and I also 3D printed like the gold bracelet and shoulder, not shoulder, whatever this part of your arm is, upper arm part. I 3D printed those and then painted all of it. That was like 2 days before I needed to wear it to the event.
Mm-hmm.
And then because apparently purple is a very not normal color to thrift, I had to borrow a purple dress from my mother, and make the little sash and like kind of throw together with stuff I had to finish out the outfit. And I didn't have a blonde wig, so I had to just use my hair and try to curl it and make it look cute, which it never looks cute in braid.
Glad your mom randomly had a purple dress.
I know, she was like, I guess I have one. And I was like, sweet, because I need to be purple. And of course, the second time I wore Claw, I had a vinyl purple jumpsuit, which I could not find the picture of. I knew you'd taken a picture of me in it, but I scoured through Facebook and I couldn't find it. But
It's back in my phone somewhere, but we have plenty of pictures of you in costume. That top one, the black with the gray, what describe that one for us, or tell us about that
yeah,
one.
so that's Eraserhead from My Hero Academia, the anime, and I wore that for the anime award show by Crunchyroll that was hosted at Free Play Arlington. So I showed up in that, and my friend was Present Mike, which is like one of the other teachers from the show, and we got to hang out with. There's actually a really good group of cosplayers that showed up. A lot of
Oh
people from
yeah.
North Texas cosplay community. So it was cool getting to kind of see them and hang out, and then just to walk around and hang out with all the other people there was enjoyable.
Hmm.
So getting to
Um,
just hang out.
and Dead in the Center is one that I bet a lot of people watching this will recognize. But tell us about that center one.
Yeah, so Ono from High Score Girl, that was kind of a. I was told to watch this show, obviously, because it's a arcade themed anime.
Uh huh.
And it's great. I feel like it's one of those shows where it's like, if you like anime, you could show it to your friend who uh, didn't know much about anime or didn't know much about arcades, and you could kind of show them this, and they would get a good impression of uh, what arcade games were and stuff. But Ono, as of course the main chick who is never talks and is amazing at arcade games, so basically nothing like me
Right.
at all.
Yeah. No.
But
No. You were in cosplay, and we basically spent the whole day walking around talking. So
yeah,
not very Ono of you, but we did get to play Final Fight on the candy cab side by side, just like from the show. So it was a great thrill to me to hang out with you in Ono costume. It was also great to have Camber in Ono costume when we got the typical anime con creeper guys around, and you just like punted every single one of them.
gave
Yeah,
them the look,
yeah. Now
gave all
you
the nice ones lollipops, and then punched all the other ones.
right. So you were quite on the ball there, and I was super happy to get to hang out with you to the point to the extent that like I hope that we go to more cons. I doubt Let's Play Game Expo is going to happen this year because of all this, but the
Yeah,
cons will happen again, I do believe. Free play will reopen, I do believe. I mean, we're certainly working hard enough to make that happen. And by the way, if you want to support, the link is up there, freeplayinc.com/save the arcade. And Cross did get his mention as a Patreon supporter. If you didn't hear it, Cross Kirchmeyer, thank you for supporting us. But
we gotta keep this place alive, man.
we're trying, man. We're really, really trying. So I do believe we will find a way to make it with everybody's help. And if we do make it, and we have all these authentic cabs, which we will, then we'll be back on the con scene at some point, and then I want to take you with me if you'll get in some nerdy costume and follow me. So it's
I mean,
always
I feel
fun.
like I'm always down to be ridiculous, as I like to put it.
Yes, no, it's a lot of fun for me. Uh, so Andy Nubbs has a request from you, and he's offering some help as well, or at least crowdsourcing some help. He says we need to find a hammer so she could be the chick from the Arlington mural.
I have honestly thought of that in the past.
Yeah, that's
I feel like that would be a very possible cost free play for me in the future. One of the easier ones, probably.
Yeah, I forget the name of that character. I don't know why it's blanking me. It's not she's not a princess, but the woman who is kidnapped by Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong. She turns the tables. She's grabbed the hammer. She doesn't need Mario, and she is chasing after Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's very very iconic. In fact, I think I have the sticker here somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Free Play Arlington sticker.
Yeah, did you
Has
did you get one of those?
I have not because
It is available on our merchandise site. There's a whole sticker pack, and it's like $4 or $6 or something like that. So you can get all 4 stickers, including the excellent free play Arlington sticker. But I'm gonna go find that sticker and show it off because that's really. I wish I could remember the name. I bet it's in the chat right now, and I just
Pauline.
don't see it.
The chat says Pauline.
Correct. That's correct. It is Pauline.
Thank you, the
Um,
mental wizard.
yes. And I'm gonna come back with the free play stickers because Josh Featherstone, who I don't think is in the chat with us right now, but has been frequenting the stream and created all the art for this. Even though, like when we decided we were going to stream into eternity until they pried the stream gear away from us, at that point everybody had been let go, so he was certainly under no obligation to do all that, and yet. He did anyway, so that's just like him. So this is the sticker to which I refer. Right there in the center it says Free Play Arlington, and there's your hammering Pauline,
Yeah.
taking it right to Donkey Kong, giving him every little bit he can handle. Um,
Maybe a friend of mine is bound to have owned a red dress like that, and I can just kidnap it.
yes, and Michael Beltran volunteers to dress up as a gorilla, so
I'm down for that.
that'll work. Or maybe I just volunteered him. There's the Free Play Denton sticker with the flamingo. Do you have? I bet Arlington's your favorite just because Arlington's your favorite. But do you have a?
I don't know. I
Do you like
really
the
like
stickers?
I like the Denton one because I love flamingos, and I really like the Fort Worth one because I enjoy the skyline and the rooftop arcade aspect of it. So honestly, those might be my favorite. So
Yeah, I feel like Fort Worth is the most endangered of all the free plays. I really really hope we find a way to get all the free plays back throughout all this. But that rooftop bar and the skyline view and the game room, like I fell in love instantly with Free Play Fort Worth, and I certainly hope I get to set foot in it again at some point. And of course, the mothership, the classic Richardson.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's. I don't know that means as much to you as it means to me, but that's
It
where I
doesn't
first
because,
saw.
Richardson's really far.
Yeah, I know it is, but at the same time, like that's Free Play Arcade for me when it opened
Yeah.
before, and of course same artist, different not an official sticker, but if you are tight enough with the Grill Master, let's see if I can get this right. There it is. There's the hologram Grill Master sticker. There it is. Yeah, that's so sweet. Really, really dig all that.
A good one.
So, who did you say we are cosplaying today?
I haven't said because I feel like it's a story.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will let
It's like
you.
the worst character for me to have been doing on stream, like the least known. But
Well, I tell you what. You talk about it, and I will bring up a picture. Okay? We'll
okay,
do this together.
I have it pulled up. I could message it to you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I already had it pulled up because I figured this was going to come up.
You would think. You would think.
So I figured I would need to show it to at least someone so that someone would have an idea of what I was doing.
Oh, good news. Ian has a gorilla mask he can lend to Mike B. So there you go. Pauline and Mike B as Donkey Kong. Gonna happen. Do we even bother telling Mike B before the day of, or do we just toss him a gorilla mask and be like, there you go?
Absolutely that. Yeah, so the character I'm doing is from Critical Role, that D&D web show thingamadob that I mentioned before. But I'm doing, so like the show has main episodes where they all play like a set amount of characters and whatnot, but then they also have these like side episodes So I'm one of the characters from the side episode. But basically, they ended up doing a live show down in Austin where they played these characters, and me and all my friends got to go see it live. And I think in the atmosphere of seeing it live and witnessing it, we were like, we have to cosplay these characters. So of course, I pick one of the two most ridiculous ones. Luckily, I got to leave the most ridiculous one to my friend, and I get to be slightly less ridiculous. But I'm playing a man known as Macaroni Samsonite, which is a great dumb name.
Indeed.
And I am a halfling, so I'm very small. Basically described as one of the Lost Boys from the live-action Hook movie.
Okay.
So that's like kind of the aesthetic. It's basically like fur and bones and a nice giant skull-shaped hat I will be wearing, and whatnot. And my friend, who will be cosplaying as an ogre with a box on her back, I will be riding on her back, piggyback style, in the box. Yeah, there you go. There's macaroni. So we will be piggybacking throughout the con. Not
Riding
the whole
on
time.
your back.
I will be riding on her back.
Oh, okay.
I should find the picture of her and her costume so you can get the full.
Yeah, send it away. I will add it to the stream.
Picture of what will be happening. It's going to be absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've ever done in my life. But like I said, it just like...
There's no way it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever done in your life. Maybe the most ridiculous cosplay you've done, but you cosplayed an entire like 80s bad movie. Like, that's incredible. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, but I felt like that I don't know.
That was ridiculous. That was one that like I would have. The only person's like ridiculousness that compares to that I can recall is Corey and some of his like last Christmas parties that involve real snow when it's like 60 degrees outside and an ice skating rink that he was upset wasn't real ice, and yeah, just the level of insanity that you guys went through, that and he goes through for parties, like that's the top of the shop, at least for me.
Well, you know, whatever you like to say. I don't think what I sent worked. Let's do it this way. Oh gosh, the loudest screen capture I've ever heard. But it's gonna work. But yeah, so basically, like, the two of us are gonna look ridiculous, and then the other people in our group are gonna look less ridiculous because we just happen to be the more ridiculous looking D&D characters as compared to all the other ones. But it should be fun. It should be a time. That's a more accurate way to put it.
All right, I got you. I'll get it up there in just a second.
Maybe that worked. Okay. Now I can put it back over here so I can continue to put lipstick on my face because I don't have red body paint.
How dare you not have red body paint? I have a whole gallon over here, but due to social distancing, I can't hand it to you. So
yeah, I've only painted myself blue. I've never painted myself red. So, you know.
Oh,
today...
man. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that said to me.
I'm also really bad at makeup, so it's kind of like an adventure.
Another inaccurate statement, I'm sure.
Well, you see, I only started wearing makeup when I started doing cosplay. I never wore makeup any other time in my life. So I'm like, 18 years behind on doing makeup.
Are you wearing makeup in your personal appearance now? Does Camber wear makeup as well now, or is it just?
I never wear makeup unless it's for a costume.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me. I rarely wear makeup unless it's a costume.
It just takes so much effort to put it on. I'd have to wake up like 30 minutes earlier than I normally do to put makeup on. It's like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, hard pass. I don't think anybody really truly needs to. Like, you look how you look. Like,
yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I'm fine with the way I look. I've accepted it at this point.
Yeah, and you look great, but even if you don't look like Camber, I still feel like you look like you look. So
yeah,
like it's okay if you're representing yourself because you're yourself. I say rarely though. I have had some breakouts so bad, and it's just like, well, I'm going on this first date, and I have a horn. That's interesting. I look like a devil, so I just went to my nearest female friend whom I know had some concealer, and there we go. So
Yeah, it works. See, now I also got to put paint all over my arms. So much work. I don't ever do costumes that involve body paint because it's just too much work. I've only done it once.
now twice.
Now twice. At least this is not like full coverage. I painted myself fully blue.
What was that cosplay? Avatar?
No, literally that's what every single person asked me, and I was like, "Does this look like a character from Avatar?" It was another Dungeons and Dragons thing,
Oh, okay.
but I was an all blue tiefling, which basically just meant I was all blue with blue hair, and I was wearing a really cute dress. I wore it for Halloween to my church, and just had people stare at me hardcore. And I'm like, you people are in costume. Like, I just go harder than you do.
Way harder. I like it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good times.
By the way, if anybody has questions for Camber, just pile them up in the Twitch chat, and I will keep relaying them in my own time as I'm still working on your picture of your cosplaying partner who will be carrying you at some point. Where does this make its debut again?
Well, it was going to be Fan Expo, which was supposed to be this weekend.
So wait, so we missed Fan Expo, TPF, and Big Texas Beer Fest. This is a terrible weekend.
And we also had a dirt bike race that weekend.
Wow.
I was only going to Fan Expo on Friday, and then I was going to be racing a dirt bike and a car on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
so it was going to be a very full weekend.
I'm pretty sure I already invited you to TPF because anytime I go to a free play con, I would find any excuse for you to come out and cosplay with.
And I was like, oh yeah, I really do want to go to TPF. But every year, TPF has been on either Fan Expo or one of our races. So, which is pretty much the history of my life. If anyone asks, oh, are you free this weekend? It's like, well, do we have a race? And then if not, probably I'm free.
Totally. Let's see here. Almost. There's my hidden transition that you didn't see.
I'm just,
It looks like you're looking at the playback. It's funny. Your own mirror right there.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just looking at things. I can't tell where I'm supposed to look, what I'm supposed to do.
I can help. Wait, no, I can't help at all. I have no idea. There's a picture of your target character on screen if you want to look at that for
I know, I'm like trying to look at my phone and my phone keeps going off and I'm like, but at this point, he just has blue all over him. He's just gonna get blue all over him. That's what he's gonna get. Does he have red all over him too? I think he does.
Some blue and some red. Not all over him, I wouldn't say, but some stripes for sure. Maybe
some more stripes
around the elbow area. I'm going to take this one down just for a sec so I can add this one up. There is a picture of your cosplaying buddy who will be carrying you.
Ironically, her character's name is Buddy.
Buddy? It is Buddy? Okay.
It is Buddy. A good buddy. Yeah, so she posted this picture on Twitter, and the people from the show were cosplaying commented on it and were like, this is amazing. We're so excited for this. So she's technically famous now from the creators of the thing.
Whatever.
Awesome.
We're gonna get you famous, sir.
That's why I'm putting on this costume because I want to be famous.
We'll get you there. You'll definitely break through the news cycle and be number one on the news, I'm sure.
Working on it, man. I mean, who doesn't want to become famous looking this stupid?
Yes, in the most obscure character possible.
The most obscure. Like, I'll be impressed if anyone recognizes us when we go to this con. 100%.
Right.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though. Here's the point of cosplay. To have fun.
Uh-huh.
Do it with people that you like. So honestly, if no one recognizes me, but I go to that con and I have a lot of fun with people that I like, then it was a success.
Oh, good news from Unwise Duck in the chat. Apparently, ridiculous-looking cosplay cures coronavirus, so you are helping the world.
Oh well, I'm glad I'm doing something for the universe while looking dumb.
Mm-hmm.
As I spray setting spray all over my arms and hope that it works.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your friend down, get you your target character back, so you can use it for reference. So we can use it for reference to see what you're turning into slowly.
Yeah.
I can't give you a bow and arrow if that's what you're looking for.
I know my friend was gonna let me use hers, and then coronavirus happened, and I'm like, is coming to your house to borrow your bow and arrow considered essential? Because I
uh,
need the bow and arrow.
it depends on what you need the bow and arrow for. Like if you need it to eat, then yeah, go for it.
True, I could have said that. I needed to hunt for my own food.
Right, right. Although I'm not sure how much wild game you're going to find in the mean streets of Arlington.
That's true.
You
Who
could
knows at this point?
you could possibly snag a bunny or two.
That's true. I do see bunnies running around from time to time.
There you go. You can peg one. They're cute and delicious.
Which arm does this go on? Goes on the right arm.
Did you end up 3D printing any pieces of this?
I did. So like all of these bones are 3D printed, and all the bones that are attached to my legs currently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's some.
Right. The external bones attached to your legs. Yes.
Yes, I 3D printed all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all the 3D printed, and then I've done foam work on the other stuff. Like this rib cage.
Oh,
that
nice.
Velcros to the Velcro on my chest.
Uh-huh.
This was made with foam clay, which is kind of I say a newer thing. I don't think it's actually that new. It's just new to me because I don't do foam work that much. But it's basically a clay. It feels like potter's clay.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you mold it and it dries, it becomes like squishy foam.
Thank you, Stuart, for the Patreon.
So it's like a very interesting material. So this is like aluminum foil and aluminum foil, as people not from Texas say. Aluminium foil, covered in foam clay to make this. And then also my skull hat I will be wearing. It's not fully done being painted, but it is.
Nice. So that's you molded that out of clay, not
Yes,
3D
this
printed.
is foam. Yeah, this is like sheets of foam and then foam clay to get like more of the right shape.
That is ridiculous.
So this is my first time ever really working with foam. I worked with it a little bit on my Witch Mercy wing, but this was my first like all foam piece. So, but I didn't want to 3D print it because I didn't want it to be really heavy on my head all day. Foam is like, and if it falls off my head and hits the ground, it's not gonna like possibly break.
While you're hunting for food with your bow and arrow, which is of course an essential, there's some more suggestions from the chat that are in the Arlington area. General saw a chicken running around the apartment, so you might be able to snag you a chicken.
That's not even like suspicious food to eat. That's like legitimately things people eat.
That's right. Fried chicken at your place tonight. Also, Andy has plenty of possums.
We do get those.
I have never eaten a possum.
I have not either. My dad got to eat a squirrel one time out at the races, and I was very sad I wasn't.
Yeah, I've eaten a squirrel, a rabbit, and certainly many chickens. I've had rabbit more than once as well.
I tried to eat a peacock one time. I tried to catch and eat a peacock, but we did not succeed in catching the peacock.
Okay, you're supposed to cook it first, Camber. Don't just run it down and eat it.
We were chasing it with a machete, but we didn't get it in time before it got away.
I'm sure if you tried to chase down a peacock with a machete enough days in a row, you'd eventually get there.
Yeah, eventually. Can't remember which direction I was supposed to put this on. Maybe it goes the other way. I don't know. I've yet to put all of this on, so.
Andy Nubbs has a point that's probably accurate. Anything that breaks on a spooky pinball, he needs to go to you to replace the part. You probably could 3D print some parts for pinball machines.
Very true. I've 3D printed parts for cars and race cars and all sorts of other things. If it has a shape that's plastic, I can probably make it. I also can print in carbon fiber, which is what I've used to print for like race cars. You can actually like put a carbon fiber part on a car and run it, and it'll like survive. I have a piece on my dirt bike and a piece on two of Cross's cars that are carbon fiber that are like going right now and going strong. So
what specifically what types of racing do you guys do?
So we put on a racing series called Torn, Texas Off-Road Nationals. And that's our dirt bike and UTV, which is like a dune buggy, Polaris Razor, Can-Am, Maverick style vehicles. We used to race 4-wheelers too, but we stopped doing those a couple years ago. So we've been doing Torn for, this will be our 15th year to do it. So pretty much my entire life we've done that. And then on the side, we also, this is why I'm testing, because I don't like how this thing moves too much. I need to put a second piece of Velcro.
Too much bounce on your chest, yes.
Too much.
Too much.
So then like, yeah, on the side, we also do like autocrosses, which is like a regular car in a parking lot with cones set up, and you like drive around the cones like an obstacle course. We've done some of those. We've done some rallycross, which is like autocross but on the dirt. My brother's been doing some like track racing. I'm not sure if he's still listening. He can tell me the exact title of what he does, but it's like on an actual like, not like a NASCAR track because it's more like, but like an asphalt track in a regular car. He's been doing some of that racing since his knee is busted. He's been doing that because he doesn't need his knee to do that.
Whatever is easier on Cross's knee. That's what I vote, because he cannot play Cosmotrons nearly as well with a busted knee.
It's true. Yeah.
Right. And that's the important thing, is his video gaming career. Like, also it somewhat impacts his racing career when he's broken in half, but definitely can't do the Cosmotrons the way we need him to.
Yes, very true.
A question from earlier, and I already know the answer. What's your favorite pinball table?
Total Nuclear Annihilation.
There you go. You have a second?
Yeah, absolutely the best. My second, I really like World Cup Soccer. That's probably my second.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, I would have said it was Star Trek. Not the Next Generation, but the newer Star Trek.
Yeah, 2016? No.
Yeah, that was my first
2006?
pinball.
I don't know.
Was that one. Before I played Total Nuclear or any of those, Star Trek was my favorite because I felt like it was the one I could get into the most. And then, of course, I found Total Nuclear, and that's the cat's meow right there.
Yes,
so.
Star Trek was the first modern table in the modern Sterns that I played, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot. But then again, I have a great affinity for the Star Trek IP. I don't know if you watched the show or movie or anything at all.
No, I have never seen anything Star Trek.
Never seen anything Star Trek?
Never. I've never seen any of the shows, any of the movies, nothing.
Star Wars?
I have seen the original 3 Star Wars movies.
Okay. What about the TV show Lost? Are you down on that one?
I never watched Lost. My mom, I think, watched almost all of it, but I never did.
I can recommend at least the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies for someone who's never been in it before.
Are those the newer ones?
Those are the ones that the pinball table is based on.
Okay, so yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so the first 2 of the newer series are excellent. There's some criticisms that are fair, I guess, but like overall, those are very, very enjoyable experiences for me. They have a lot of nerdy references to the old show, but it's a new enough take on it that you don't have to at all know what Star Trek is.
Yeah.
And the way that the movies are put together, it's not very Star Trek-y. It's much more space opera, much more like Star Wars, much more like the original trilogy, which means it's not really a surprise that they then poached J.J. Abrams, the director of those 2, to then do the new Star Wars movies, which that first one very much feels like it belongs to the original.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like one of those things that we just never watched when we were younger. We were never like it's not a movie that my parents like, and so they never introduced us to any of that kind of stuff when we were kids. So I kind of just missed it. Like I saw the Star Wars movies like within the last couple of years, for the first time. So, which honestly, I kind of wish I hadn't watched them because it's much more enjoyable to tell people that you've never seen them. Because they're like, "What? You've never seen any Star Wars before?" They like just have a panic attack. So I kind of wish I had just never watched them so I could continue to say that to people.
I don't feel like a panic attack. I feel like I'm a person who likes to experience things through other people as opposed to just doing it myself. So if you were to say something like that to me, and you said things like that to me plenty of times, my inclination isn't to be upset that you haven't seen Star Wars. It's to say, hey, that sounds like a fantastic excuse to go see Star Wars with you.
Yeah. Very true.
Have you seen the ending sequence to Sonic the Hedgehog yet?
No.
Do you think you ever will? Because I don't think I ever will. Well, maybe
I
I
feel
will if it's on Netflix, and I'll just like go right to it and then go.
I bet because I feel like we'll probably end up buying it because we have small children at our house and they really seem to like the movie. So I feel like we'll probably buy it and watch it again with them.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's an inside joke for the two people on screen.
Oh gosh.
Wow, you're getting blown up on your Discord. People are trying to call you. What the heck is going on?
I think all my friends are about to get together on Animal Crossing.
Oh,
So they were calling to hang out on Animal Crossing.
you're busy. You're live on the air. You're doing
I
pro.
told them I was like, bro, I'm putting on macaroni on air so these people can be watching me on Twitch.
Thank you to Stuart Brady for the big time Patreon subscription. Yeah, it's looking great, looking great. But yeah, you're doing pro, not getting paid for it at all though, cosplay stuff. So that's cool.
Yes, I don't want to get paid to do cosplay because that's no fun. I want to do whatever I want to do. That's more fun than getting paid to do something you don't want to do.
Have you seen the movie Spaceballs?
Yes, I love the movie Spaceballs.
So
whenever, for the last, most of my life, when people would ask, have you ever seen Star Wars? I would say, well, I've seen Spaceballs. Doesn't that count? And then they would get mad at me for saying that. But no, Spaceballs doesn't count. Like, come on, it's basically the same thing. It's the better version, we all know. Star Wars is the off-brand Spaceballs.
Oh yes, clearly that is an objectively true statement. And and I just like that it has the president from ID4. Now it makes me want to hear that speech all over again.
I look better now. I look less like an egg.
You look
That's how
fine.
people describe wearing a wig cap. They describe it as looking like an egg, which I feel like is accurate.
Fair enough. Let's see. Let's bring up the picture again, see how it looks. Okay.
So usually when I get into costume, I straighten my hair so it fits under my wig better. But I wasn't going to do that for a test, so now I'm just struggling to get the amount of hair I have in a wig. I need more bobby pins.
Someone shipped bobby pins to the kairiceleste household.
Yes.
But make sure when they deliver it, you're going to need to put special delivery instructions. They need to send it down the slide. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it needs to be down the slide. Also, do you guys have a dummy elevator? Is that what it's called?
A dumbwaiter?
Dumbwaiter? Yeah.
My dad has talked so much about putting an elevator in our house, and we're like, we don't have room for an elevator. I could build it out of hydraulics, and I'm like, please stop.
Yeah, you don't need an actual elevator, but a dumbwaiter. I don't know why I was obsessed with that when I was a kid. I do remember Webster had a dumbwaiter in that classic '80s show, but because he hid in it because he's the size of a dumbwaiter. But yeah, always obsessed with that. Like anytime it was in classic cinema, a dumbwaiter would just have me so confused.
I have acquired bobby pins.
Hey, wow. Okay.
They were handed to me through the door.
That is very timely, but he forgot to slide it down the slide, so it only partial credit.
That was unexpected.
Partial credit there.
Scared me.
Yeah, no. I've had similar experiences. Bowling Mania, like straight shipped a pizza and food when I was on a hunger strike until they reopened free play. There was about 40 hours there where all of my food was provided to me from New Jersey as I was eating leftovers.
That's funny.
Funny and delicious. Very appreciated. Are we?
Yeah,
did we get it?
I think everything but my shoes are on. So, and I don't really need to put those on currently because you can't see my feet. So, but in general, I now look like a monster. See if I can pan down to my
Yeah, can you here? I'll bring it back up. There's the target. Yeah, can you step back outside the door maybe, and we'll see you there.
I can.
Oh, that works.
Backing up towards my toilet. I've got all my bones on my. See, now I feel like I need shoes.
You have the most elaborately decorated bathroom I've ever seen.
Do I?
Yes, I had no idea it was the bathroom.
So my favorite word is joy. So every time Christmas comes around, people buy me every sign that says joy. So I have my joys. I have my mushroom because I have a mushroom obsession. And then I have art from people I bought at cons.
Gotcha. Do you sing the happy happy joy joy song?
I do like that song. It is a classic.
I do. I agree. There you go.
Bones on my shoes. Bones on my shoes. I got these shoes from the Goodwill outlet, where you buy things by the pound.
Uh-huh.
Because I knew I was going to cover them in fake fur and leather, so it didn't matter how they looked.
Well, fantastic.
So
You
I now look ridiculous, which is everything I was going for.
You look great. You look ridiculous. Chat should give it up, or tell her she doesn't look ridiculous. I don't know. There's not nearly enough response to a live cosplay.
I feel like I need more lipstick.
More lipstick.
Like now I have bare spots on my arms. Maybe that's better. I have just one random red spot.
Mm-hmm.
Is it anything? Is that it? Yeah, look at my picture again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm missing the wings. I'm currently working on a set of Da Vinci wings.
Oh, I can barely see those back there.
Tiger.
It's literally the only picture I have. But I know that he has wings.
Yeah.
So I'm working on 3D printing / using some yardsticks that a friend gave me to construct those. Hopefully I'll have those done in the next week or so, and then I can do a more full outfit with wings included. And then hopefully I can convince myself to leave the house and find the bow and arrow from my friend.
Tiger.
I'm pretty sure this is Cross says your teeth are not sharp enough.
You know.
Uh-oh. Someone's about to get punched. Look out. I'm glad she doesn't have a bow and arrow.
Tiger.
Wow. You know, that was no blood. Wow. Okay.
Is that better, Cross? I couldn't decide if I needed the fangs or not, but I can wear them if I need to. Oh, my head teeth. But I wanted to put on real teeth. Oh, are they not? I guess, okay, so here's the story about the skull. So I've never worked with foam before, so I had absolutely no idea how I was going to build it. So I found another person who had made a skull out of foam and used their pattern and then kind of tried to alter it. So when I made the teeth, I was kind of basing it off their pattern, and their pattern did not have sharp teeth. And then I kind of forgot to look at the picture of the skull to see what it looked like. So I kind of made not sharp teeth. But they're just super glued, and I could just pull them back out and make other. I got to make more anyway because I forgot I needed 2 more on each side. So I'm 4 teeth short anyway. So I can make pointy teeth. So some of them are pointy.
Tiger.
This one.
I think it looks fantastic. It's very complete. That's really cool that it came forward right in front of our eyes. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Wow, Cross has got a lot of really kind words there. He says, I guess it's not terrible.
It's my brother. I don't think he's only ever complimented me like twice. Both dodgeball related.
Tiger.
Oh, you did good at dodgeball. Thanks for helping our team.
Yes.
That's how our family communicates.
Yeah. So. Well, he's got it's the tepid backhanded compliments are getting a little bit better. I appreciate it very much, and thank you for joining us, Camber. Thank you for doing CosFreePlay all this time. I've really enjoyed those posts, as you know. I've enjoyed our time talking with you. I don't know that you can come and do a live cosplay every week, though. I have
a lot in my closet. I could probably.
Well,
maybe not a new one every week, but.
Well, then for my own amusement, unless somebody in the chat disagrees, other than Cross, that you should do this, I would love to have you back weekly because we're all stuck here anyway. So why doesn't CosFreePlay involve a cosplay live every week, and I can just see you next Thursday? Yeah,
I mean, I'd be down. I'm trying to think of what I had lined up that I could do. I do have a costume that's like 90% done that I could finish in the next week, or I could just put on something that I already have because I have so many.
I think both of those are just fine, and finally the chat is responding and says weekly cosplay is a good idea. Well, I think weekly cosplay is a good idea, and that's why CosFreePlay was a thing and is a thing, and now it is a thing because Camber keeps it alive and keeps it alive even as free play struggles to stay afloat. Thank you for all your support. Thank you to everybody who has supported. And if you would like to support, the link is right there above Camber's cosplayed head, freeplayinc.com/savethearcade. You can donate via Patreon, via PayPal. You can get a shirt. Even Camber, there's plenty of shirts in your size. Are you a small, medium?
I'm small.
Yeah, there's plenty of smalls available. Of all kinds of variety. We've already got the stock. Stephanie's shipping it out. And also, share the stream, please. Keep the eyes on it because we're all kind of coping together. I don't know how much. Have you been tuning into the stream at all, Camber? You can say no. It's okay.
Not a lot, but I have a little bit. I've tried to bounce around, but sometimes I'm working on my computer and I can kind of have it in the background, and other times I'm like doing other junk, so I can't very easily.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like it's coming together more and more each day with programs like this. VGM Wednesday. If you didn't see VGM Wednesday, I posted it in a community group, and it was fantastic. If you like video game music, basically.
Yeah, I missed that one, but I do want to go back and watch it because I'm always a fan of the VGM Wednesdays.
Yeah, and so Ian live photoshopped live photoshopped VGM Wednesday, including like the whole like process of figuring out what elements he was going to use. I did a revision, and then they spent a full hour just riffing on video game music and playing it. So it was a fantastic show. I reposted it in the community group. I will clip this show and repost that as well. And I will say once again the same thing I said to Ian is the backdoor pilot was very successful. I was entertained, and I don't care what your brother says. I would love to have you back, although he seems okay with it too.
Well, now I'm having VGM Wednesday thoughts because I play the ocarina, and I'm tempted to throw together a Link cosplay in like a week now.
Okay.
And show back up.
Well, Ian was in the chat. Yeah, Ian's definitely in the chat, so he can mention it. He says, and Bali Mania says you should subscribe. Well, anybody could subscribe if they want to. I wouldn't say you use that Twitch Prime subscription. Get it free, so you can get those emoticons. But as far as the high tier subscriptions, just go to the link freeplayinc.com/savethearcade. Hit Patreon and do it that way because more money goes to the arcade, and I don't really care so much about monetizing the Twitch, although every little bit counts, so go for it. Yeah, seems good to go. Thank you so much. What are you up to the rest of the night?
Admiring myself in the viewfinder.
Yeah, what are you up? Oh, you're doing Animal Crossing tonight, yeah? I hear all the beeps and boops.
Oh, I know. I have like 100 missed messages in the
okay.
that we're talking about getting together. We Animal Crossing the last night, so I was like, I'm taking tomorrow to put on cosplay and hang out with FreePlay. So
oh well, if you want to keep hanging out with us, the stream goes until I collapse, which
I figured it was whenever you kicked me off was when I stopped.
Pretty much. But you know I'm probably not going to kick you off for quite a while. So now let's talk about speed runs, and if you have okay. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week at this time, I guess.
Yeah. That we can make that happen.
Awesome. I'll put it down for you. Is that the good time for you, 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, what else are we doing in the universe? I have no plans now. All my friend groups dead. Everything's dead. Like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you there. So I'll see you next week, and we'll talk to you. We'll talk before. And in fact, anytime you want to jump into the voice chat, please jump in. Would love to hear your voice.
Cool. Right. I can make it happen.
Bye-bye.